Hello again. Today we're on the coast of Fife in Scotland and we're doing a cold January walk of around 5 kilometres. This walk is easy going along the coastline, starting at St Bridget's Kirk in Dalgety Bay, and we'll be passing the Exxon Shell Brayfoot Bay terminal and ending up at the old World War II fortifications of Charles Hill Battery. Let's check the route map before we get going. It's a simple enough route, easy going throughout, and just having to make, a bit of a detour around the restricted area at the LPG terminal. A return route to make this a circular walk would be just to follow the Fife coastal path back to Dalgety Bay. This isn't in this walk video, but it is an option for you, shown here on the map in the purple dotted line. By the way, this map is available to download from my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. So it's a cold, blustery day today, which just adds to the dramatic nature of this varied walk. We'll finish off in Monk's Cave, but we start here at St Bridget's Kirk. This church was first mentioned way back in 1178, although it was only in 1244 it was officially consecrated and dedicated to St Bridget. It's heavily associated with the Inchcolm Abbey on its island, which you can see clearly later in this walk. A notable part of this church is the Dunfermline aisle, built around 1610, which contains the family vault of the Earls of Dunfermline, including Alexander Seton, 1st Earl of Dunfermline. But by the early 1800s it becomes structurally unsound, and in 1830, when its roof collapsed, it ended its regular use. Today it's free to get in and look around and makes a great start to a walk today. So let's leave the ancient gravestones behind and start our walk. And as we get into our stride, now would be a good time to like this video and subscribe for more. Thanks for doing that, and I'll catch up with you later in the video as we get to Brayfoot Point. We're emerging out of Brayfoot Plantation. The tide is out today, allowing us to briefly reach this unusual rock formation, which was pretty cool. But not wanting to get stuck here with the tide coming in, we quickly made our way to the pier. This was built early on in World War I to help the construction and supply of the nearby military buildings, including the battery which used to occupy a lot of the Braefoot Hill. It was abandoned in 1921, but this pier remains today, giving good views across to Inchcolm Abbey. There's also a small building here too, which we'll walk past and continue around for dramatic views of the Braefoot LPG terminal. Today, the ship Coral Fungia is loading, and we'll see more of the ship around the other side of the terminal. This terminal began operations in the mid-1980s, and it's a restricted area, so we'll need to skirt around the exterior fence to continue our walk. So we'll need to go up over the top of Braefoot Hill, around the fencing and through the visitor car park, and I'll speak to you again when we get to Charles Hill. So we're now approaching Charles Hill, and you can see the first of many military structures here which formed Charles Hill Battery. This is a Second World War coastal defence site built in the 1930s and operational by 1939 as a base and training centre for coastal defence units destined for the islands in the Forth Estuary. However, only a year later in 1940, the site was converted from a training camp into a fully armed coastal battery, part of the broader network defending the Forth Estuary, Rosyth Naval Dockyard and the vital shipping anchorage between the Forth Bridge and the islands. After the war, the gun and searchlights remained in place for a time but were eventually decommissioned, and by the mid-1950s it was totally abandoned, and today only the ruined concrete bases, searchlight emplacements, engine room foundations, pillboxes and fragments of defensive positions remain, which have become unofficial canvases for local graffiti artists. We'll take a look around some of these and end our walk today by entering the Monk's Cave. It was also used in World War II as a magazine and storehouse, but its origins are much older, dating back to the late 15th century. It's another thing associated with Inchcolm Abbey, with apparently the monks using it as a ferry house and storehouse to get back and forth to the island. Today it marks the end of our walk, so thanks for coming along with us. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video somewhere else in the world. See ya!